This is how I cook only 2 to 3 times a week and still manage to feed my whole family. If you're a busy mom and you don't want to cook every night, and especially now that sports season started up, you really need to see how I hacked my freezer into the best cooking tool that I have in my entire kitchen. So right now what I'm doing is de-stashing my freezer cubes. So I have a whole bunch of stuff that I prepped throughout the week. Now on the days that I do cook, I like to batch cook so that this way I can store some extra in my freezer. And then once you have a nice stash, you could basically just kind of rotate through your meals so that this way you're not eating the same thing every night, your family doesn't get sick of it, but also you don't have to cook that often and you can rely on easy leftovers that you know everybody does like. So the things I batch cooked this week, I made some marinara sauce, I made some lemon lentil soup, and I made some mashed potatoes. I also whipped myself up a batch of my breakfast burritos that I eat that are cauliflower rice and hash brown potatoes, but I didn't have enough tortillas, so I just froze those in my cubes so this way when I do get the tortillas that I need, I could just thaw out the filling and then wrap up a quick burrito for myself for breakfast. So my method, I don't have a vacuum sealer. A lot of people do use the vacuum sealer with these cubes. The reason why I have not invested in that yet is because I really do just use these for like at most a month. I feel like I go through my freezer stash pretty quickly and I'm constantly cycling through things. So I just use freezer bags for now. And they store so nicely in the freezer. You can like stack them up or store them horizontally, so it's really convenient. And I do reuse my freezer bags, so depending on what is in them, I'll wash them out and then just kind of fill the same thing if it's one of those like staple ingredients. I always label my freezer bags. Again, I don't really worry too much about the date because I know I'm going to be using these cubes very soon. If you did think that you were going to be deep freezing these for a while, I would recommend putting the date on the freezer bag so that you know exactly when you cooked it. That's up to you. Now when I show you guys my stash of freezer cubes that I have, just keep in mind that that is in my spare freezer that I just use for meal prep. So I easily have about 3 weeks of food in my freezer, almost at all times I would say. So we never have those moments where it's like, uh-oh, there's nothing for dinner, we have to order takeout. I have everything on hand always. Like our first option is always eating at home. And then in my main freezer, in my like refrigerator freezer, I have my kids' food. So I keep their stuff in the top shelf and that's like their breakfast lunch items. And then in the bottom, I like to bulk prepare some like TV dinners for them. And I just do the TV dinners by basically taking whatever's left over from a dinner that we had extra that's perfectly portioned for them and put it in little meal prep containers that they have their like starch, protein, and veggie, and then it's good to go. If ever we're running really low on time, I just pull one out of the freezer. Another really good thing that I like about this, especially as I've been kind of on a postpartum weight loss journey, is that everything is portioned out. So I fill it to the line for like either 1 cup or a half a cup, exactly how much that I want my serving to be. And this is wonderful for portion control because you just take out 1 cube from the freezer and heat it up. I do that a lot with my soups because I like to have soup for lunch. So those single portions of soup are really nice to kind of keep me on track without having to think about my portion size. As I'm adding in these marinara sauce cubes, one of these cubes is typically enough for a meal in my household, like a 1 dinner, because my kids are still picky and they don't always love the marinara sauce. So that's mainly just if me and my husband want it. And then like if a kiddo or 2 want to sample it, they can sample it. But you see I'm putting in a container for the dinner that I was having the next day, so I set that aside. So I had like 1.5 little cubes there, so that's a whole meal. And then I know I have 3 more meals of marinara sauce in my freezer ready to go, so that's like Sunday pasta for the entire month. I'm taking out these mashed potato cubes. This is a good enough portion for me and my husband. Again, my kiddos are still picky with mashed potatoes, so I give them a little sample, but that I know I have 2 meals of mashed potatoes now. So I figured since I was destashing, I was going to do a quick organize. So I might as well show you everything that I have in my freezer right now. And this was not like a big batch cooking day that I had. This is just stuff that I have compiled over the course of a month or two, just by doubling or tripling some of the recipes that I'm already cooking and portioning them out and freezing them for the future. So the first thing I have 2 cubes left of, this is my vegan butternut squash mac and cheese that I make with gluten-free chickpea noodles. Are portions of lasagna soup that I had frozen for myself. I froze the soup part on the bottom and then the pasta on top. And those are 3 lunch portions for me. I'm the only one that eats this. So I usually pull that out on a night that my family's having like a kind of pasta dish. Here's my lemon lentil soup. I have 5 meals of that, so that's good for like a whole week of lunches. Right here I have some pinto beans and pico de gallo, and then here I have some burrito bowl cubes. So I had frozen the beans and everything. For my husband, I had frozen him chicken and put the pico on top of it, so that's ready to go to microwave into a burrito bowl. I still have 3 cubes of potato soup, so that's 3 more lunches. I still have some lentil soup and lentil dal, so that is another 5 lunches. So now we're going on 3 weeks of lunches that I just have ready to go in my freezer that I do not have to prep for myself. Marinara sauce, I serve this over rice with either chickpeas for myself or chicken with my husband. That's 2 dinners right there. These chicken chimichangas for my husband, and I have some vegan chimichangas for myself. That's another dinner right there. And then I have my marinara sauce and my mashed potatoes. So you see, it really does all add up when you batch cook things. So next time you're making a recipe, just make some extra and think about when you can use it in the future. And here's a glimpse of those TV dinners like I was talking about. Some of them are incomplete and I'll just fill them as I go, but I guess they're going to be having spaghetti sometime soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.